Microphone to your right, that'd be great. First question is, the stakeholder committee provided multiple options to cover potential budget shortfalls. Which option makes the most sense to you?
I really like the option of the tax swap, where you will give the district additional spending money in M&O without raising taxes.
Do you support hiring an FISD internal auditor without involvement of staff? Why or why not?
Can you repeat the question?
Do you support hiring an FISD internal auditor without staff input? Why or why not?
A internal auditor position, generally speaking, should be hired to look at the experience and credential of that person. Less about that position is less about teamwork, more about the integrity and then the experience of the candidate. Therefore, I would say that the school obviously would have a committee to hire that person, but that does not necessarily mean that needed to be vetted through from all of the district staff.
How would you respond to parents who advocate opting out of curriculum that they see as in conflict with their beliefs?
That's a really great thing. I believe that the option should always be available for parents to do that.
What do you think about the current non-teacher to teacher staffing ratio, and what ratio would you prefer?
Looking at the current ratio, I believe the administrators is slightly more than the teachers. In terms of ratio, is slightly out of optimal. So considering the supporting staff include also the cafeteria staff as well as janitorial staff. So I think overall, in my mind, the best ratio probably is like 3-2 in that split.
Move to the next question, if I could. Given that the last high school cost $110 million and land availability is becoming more difficult to obtain, how would you propose the high school, small school model be cost effectively maintained, knowing that Frisco could be over 400,000 residents?
Maintained. I believe the residences. This needs to be a decision that need to be vetted out through the resident, basically the community here in Frisco. In terms of how big of a school we need to build, how much we spend, I believe the more people we bring on board to vet that decision is the better, because we are encountering a budget shortfall, and how we're gonna issue more funds in terms of building new schools. Therefore, since we need essentially the financial resources from the community, let's make sure that everybody's on board in terms of what kind of decision we're going to make for the size of the school, as well as how we're equipping the school.
Okay, will you commit to always having consistent voting times and locations for all FISD elections? Why or why not?
That's a definitive yes. As from my personal position, it's so hard to try to keep up with voting times and voting locations each time. So if we have a designated place and then publish the time, that would be much easier for everyone in the community to go vote.
Ms. Wang, what is your position on the whole child philosophy And how do you ensure the district is not judging families or their private values?
I do applaud the whole child policy or the strategy. I believe my family benefits from it. My daughter comes home and check the labels on food, and then she does go into this healthy mode occasionally, and I believe the program works because of that. In terms of judging, I think, for this type of program, it's more of educating the children. It's more of bringing awareness, and it's up for individual families to follow the guidelines. It doesn't necessarily has to be, a strict rule or anything like that.
Okay, we're going to enter the lightning round now, so you have about 2 seconds, 1 word per question, and keep it to 1 word answers. Have you or someone on your behalf ever offered for someone's support or campaign contribution a board position or a committee assignment?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Have you or someone on your behalf ever offered for someone's support or campaign contribution a board position or a committee assignment?
No.
Would you vote for eliminating the Pledge of Allegiance from FISD schools?
I'm sorry?
Would you vote for eliminating the Pledge of Allegiance from FISD schools?
No.
Would you vote no on a board item that the superintendent personally requested?
Yes.
Should financial data and assumptions from FISD staff or Dr. Lyons be questioned?
Yes.
Do you support school choice and ESA?
No.
Should FISD pay hotel bills for board members' meetings in the DFW area?
No.
Should travel expenses for board members and staff be on the FISD website?
Yes.
Should FISD fund travel association fees for PACs that work against FISD taxpayer interests?
No.
Should students be able to discuss religious topics among themselves and others?
Yes.
Should schools ask students about sex, drugs, suicide, or family beliefs?
No.
Should parents be able to opt out of school activities that conflict with their religious or moral beliefs?
Yes.
Thank you. You now have 1 minute for a closing statement.
My name is Grace Wang. You can never go wrong with Grace Wang. When I grew up in China, I felt third grade, and I barely made it to college. When I came here, I became a star student. I graduated summa cum laude from UTD. And what really made a big difference is the teachers I had along the way. I'm running because I see that the way we're compensating them is putting us in a less advantage compared to the school district around us. We need to focus our priority on our teachers. I'm a mom. I just want what's best for my daughter, who currently in Fowler. And if I'm elected, there's nothing would stop me to put up my best for the school district. And finally, I'm a business analyst. My job right now is to crunch through a large amount of data and save company money, and I can help districts to optimize our spending to keep teachers paid without raising taxes. Thank you. Again, Grace Wang. Never want to go Grace Wang.